Greetings. My name is Noni Session, and this is my colleague and fellow cooperator, Gregory Jackson. We are two of the co-leads for East Bay Permanent Real Estate Cooperative, aka PREC. The two of us are Oakland natives from the flats of West and East Oakland, respectively, two of the most municipally neglected, yet economically and environmentally impacted communities in the region. Like many urban communities across the nation, our home, our history, and our entire way of life is under threat of disappearance due to rampant land speculation and racialized housing injustice. We at PREC are transforming this system of housing and finance by innovating community-driven and Black, Indigenous, POC-led neighborhood development strategies in Oakland and the East Bay. We facilitate investor relationships and democratic organization building for everyday people to organize, finance, acquire, and co-steward land and housing on our own terms. We create permanently affordable housing and use real estate as a foundation for exercising community self-determination and building collective wealth among historically disenfranchised Black, Indigenous, and POC communities.
We are designing an innovative financial, business, and cooperative toolbox that provides accessible, community-driven development where local residents are empowered to determine the character of their own neighborhoods. We decommodify land, build community wealth, leverage community cohesion for political power, and disrupt the root causes of racialized inequity in housing and housing justice. As a movement cooperative, we build on the radical legacy of Bay Area movement cultures, community land trusts, and housing cooperatives. Our projects are financed by small-scale, non-extractive community investments, operated by a democratic staff collective, and organized by small groups of tenants and neighbors who will identify multi-use buildings in their neighborhood to remove from the speculative market and shepherd into our cooperative.
We are a 5-person staff collective at PREC, and each of our leaders comes to this project deeply affected by these drastic changes taking place in our hometown. Greg, for instance, is a native East Oakland resident who has seen firsthand the toll disinvestment takes on a community. Or myself, a third-generation West Oaklander who still lives in my family home, but is watching as my longtime neighbors are displaced one by one, and as 6,000 of my neighbors nightly go to sleep on the pavement.
We believe that the permanent real estate model represents an important paradigm shift in the way communities of color view and approach displacement. We envision cooperative corridors everywhere, and our tools are designed for responsiveness, giving communities the latitude to take place-based approaches underneath the umbrella of a regional cooperative. PREC creates open source business, legal, organizational, and financial tools for future replicability. We intentionally educate and Skillshare with our community about cooperatives and property acquisition strategies to foster sovereign relationships between us and the land. We have also learned that truly participatory and democratic organizations cannot exist without trusting relationships rooted in trauma-informed healing, which led us to embed healing in our educational and team-building activities.
Also embedded in our vision is a reimagination of how credit tools work for Black, Indigenous, and POC communities. As you know, credit worthiness is a highly class, racialized, and individualized function of the finance industry. PREC shifts this vision of finance to one where community cohesion is the key determinant of creditworthiness. In this, our financial model pivots on a community investment strategy where everyone is affected by unchecked capitalism and everyone can be part of the solution, from the large accredited investor to the small everyday community stakeholder to the gentrifier, which we prefer to call the economic migrant. Our value added is that our model creates permanent affordability for our residents through acquiring multi-use properties that can accommodate an additional revenue stream, for instance, solar panels, in order to cap rents for permanent affordability. Our property selection rubric as well intends to root Black, Indigenous, and POC communities into their neighborhoods so that they may, in a long-term fashion, steer community development from a sovereign and stable position.
The East Bay Permanent Real Estate Cooperative is in the final stages of our initial research and development phase. We have a great team of attorneys, a great collection of staff, and a $100,000 loan for acquisition and technical assistance from the Force for Good Fund. We have also identified many properties for permanent removal off the speculative market. However, we need more runway capital to successfully increase staffing, increase our acquisition fund, as well as educate our members and the greater community about our model. This fall, BIPOC-led is launching our Anchor Member Campaign to build a broad member base as the foundation for our vision of people-powered development.